Kim, you read all the questions?
Oh, almost. I have dyslexia. I need to read 10 more times.
All right. Welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name's Ben. We're here to answer shooting questions. On deck today, we've got Mr. Kim. Say hello.
Hi. Hello.
And also Mr. Matt Hopkins.
Hello.
All right. Let's get to the questions, guys. That's what everybody's here for. Hi, I've listened to many of your podcasts and haven't heard this question come up. What is everyone's opinion on shooting classifiers as part of your practice? I do. However, currently, I use your training to win and dry fire reloaded materials. Okay. So what do you guys think about shooting classifiers?
It's a pretty valid drill to work on. In fact, on my first year of shooting, I think I tried, actually went to USPSA website, download classifier PDFs, and set up almost the same way in the dry fire.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to move up my classification when I first started. So in terms of moving up the classification, it's a pretty good idea. Yep.
Yeah. What do you think, Hopkins?
I think it's good. I mean, you have a set drill, so you know what is good on and what is not. You can backtrack what actual times based on like what you shoot it in and the percentage you get. Like you can figure out what the best is, or not the best, but like what a GM level is. So I think it's like a standardized exercise. You know, like how good you were getting off of. I think it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense as well. I did it. I do it. I like it. I think it's a good thing. There's one big perception problem is like don't think that because you can shoot a really good score in practice that that's your skill level, because it doesn't work that way. You're going to have to do it in a match. That's one thing. And then the other thing is a lot of people don't like the idea of practicing classifiers because they think it's going to, sort of outsize their classifier ability, or like they think that they'll overclassify or be in a classification that's not appropriate for them. That can't happen. There certainly are those people out there. That's one thing that could take place, but I don't know what to tell you. What do you think about that, Matt?
Getting classified higher than your skill level at
yeah, like
matches?
So let's say you're in A class and you finish with the B class guys. That's your club match. And you feel like you're in A class because you practice the classifiers. Yeah.
I think you'll probably eventually get the A-class skill just by shooting more matches and getting more experience there.
Yeah. I mean, and then there's the other guys who refuse to practice classifiers or stand and shoot type of things, and they do really well in matches because they work on being consistent and moving around well, hitting everything in the center. Maybe they're in B class, but they're, they finish with master class guys at major matches. That can happen too. Eventually, they'll wind up in the right place if they keep shooting long enough. That's what I think.
I agree.
Yeah. Could you guys discuss exactly what you need to see when shooting targets? Example, a metric target A at 15, 20, 25, 30 yards, etc. I've been experimenting with what I can get away with. Today at 25 yards, shooting 2 metric targets, 2 shots each. I was seeing a blurry front sight for the first shot. If I maintained a good grip, I could then shoot the split, transition, and split with maybe a 50% blurry front sight. I'm not really sure what that means, by the way. My speed and accuracy increased by almost ignoring front sight focus and instead focusing on maintaining a perfect grip and gripping the gun really hard. The idea is to verify sight alignment on the first shot and maintain that alignment with grip without checking the sight alignment again. If the sights are perfectly aligned, does it really matter if they're blurry? Okay? Hopkins, I didn't read the specific comments there on his drill because I think it's too specific for the question. But what exactly do you need to see at different targets, different distances? What do you think is important to hitting shit in the center?
I mean, the most important thing for hitting shit in the center is trigger pull, so you're not trigger the gun off the sight. So the most important thing is trigger pull.
Yes.
When you're pulling the trigger, make sure you don't bump the gun off where you wanted to hit. If you pull it straight back, the bullet's going to hit where you're at.
Well, what if the front sight's blurry?
I mean, we shoot speed, so that it's going to be at some level of like vision on it. It's not going to be perfectly
Yeah.
like where you see the serrations on the front side every
We
time.
don't line it up perfect every time, man. Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's right.
All right, Kim, you got some specific examples. What
Yes.
you might need the sights to look like at different distances.
Yes.
I like it.
First, it would change, depends. For example, 25 yards, because he was saying 25 yard target. For example, if there's a no shoot in the middle of the A zone, so lower side of the A zone is the no shoot, let's say, then I cannot have any vertical misalignment. I maybe have a little bit of horizontal misalignment. So then in that case, I put a little bit special emphasis on the front side vertically being aligned with the rear side. But let's say it was 25 open target, then now I can have some vertical misalignment and horizontal misalignment. Just a little bit, not too much. Then I think having that blurry front sight, but still being able to see some shape of the front sight and then rear sight, so I can have a little bit, I can guess where it's located in between the rear sights, but I can accept that vertical misalignment. Then I don't really care about the blurriness of the front sight. It can be a little bit blurry if it's 25-yard open target. In fact, I would shoot a little bit blurry if it was an open target. So in that sense, my front sight can be blurry at 25 yards as long as there's no shoot or horizontal mistake or vertical mistake. So I judge by that. To be honest, 25 yards in, the front sight can be blurry, and sometimes I shoot front sight blurry as long as there's no shoot.
All right.
So that's a rule of thumb for me.
Kim, I want to stop you there because I like what Kim's saying. I agree with it in almost every respect. But what I should tell people listening is that this thing that we're discussing now, this is where the upper level guys shoot way faster than lower level guys. You don't see a big difference on target split times. You don't see a big difference at 7 yards or 10 yards usually. Tends to be pretty similar. But when you see upper tier shooters shooting at longer targets, they just spend so much less time fucking around on the sights. Yeah. And that's where they pick up tons of time. That's fair to say, right, guys? Kim?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Hopkins, anything else to say about this?
Not really. Makes sense.
I love it. Let's do one more. Recently, I kicked my dry fire into overdrive, trying to get better, faster. I've been shooting for about 6 months and am B class and would like to push for high A or a master this year. However, a problem has come up that any time I dry fire for more than 20 minutes or so, my thumb left down in the palm of my hand goes numb. This does not happen in live fire matches. Do you experience this? Is it par for the course, or do I need to back off and ensure that I don't do permanent damage to my hands? Holy shit. What do you think about that, Kim?
First, this guy probably should visit a doctor about that. Maybe neuroscientist, I don't know.
Have you seen the one joke about that? You know?
Anybody going numb?
No, like where this guy comes in, he's like, yeah, doc, every time I sleep on my arm, it gets numb and I wake up and my arm hurts. The doctor's like, oh, okay, well, we can cut your arm off.
Yeah, but basically, if you don't want to visit a doctor, you should analyze what you actually do in live fire and dry fire. So find the difference. And then if you are over gripping in dry fire, okay, don't do it. If you are under gripping in live fire, then grip it harder. That's my basic solution. Yep.
Wow.
It sounds like it's a time thing where he's gripping the gun so long.
Well, no, my feeling on this is that your fucking hand should not be going numb. Like, calluses are okay. A little bit of soreness is okay, but when you've got numbness in your thumb, that's strange. I've never heard about that before.
Me
You
neither.
know, it's it's not something that should be happening. So, like, please don't do permanent damage to your hands. Like, I would be looking at maybe changing the way I'm gripping the gun slightly because, if you're just slightly twisting the gun in your hand or something, that's not going to matter. Not really, but like, do not do, permanent damage to your hands like that, please. Like, that is not a good situation. How are we getting
So when someone's gripping the handgun, so grip with only necessary tension on your hands. If you are gripping with unnecessary tension, so let's say he's using unnecessary muscle, then it's not helping the grip, it's not helping your health. So everybody should be able to grip the handgun without getting numb. And that's what I experienced, and Ben is experienced too. So
that you should be able to grip the handgun without your hands going numb?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's a nice place to be. It's good if you can get it.
Yeah, try to fix that. Fix that.
Like, something is wrong, For sure. Oh, shit. Well, gentlemen, do we have anything else to say about this really,
Do you have
really wonderful
anything
topic?
to add about the guy that says, the second question said, his ability to call bad shot diminish as the front sight focus diminish?
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
self-explanatory.
So, no, it's not really self-explanatory. So, I think what people find, and especially in most of the literature in the shooting community, shot calling is usually people talking about, you seeing your front sight lift off the target, you see your front sight clear, you don't blink when the shot goes off, and you're going to see where the shot goes. That kind of a thing. As you start shooting faster and more target focused, and you see the sights more in a blurry fashion, it does become more difficult for people to know where their shots are going. That's a normal phenomenon. And as a matter of fact, a lot of times on longer targets or tighter shots, I'll use front sight focus just so I can tell with a lot more precision where the shots are going. Even if it's not really affecting the pacing of the shooting. I can just tell where I'm going. So, yeah, I mean, I think that phenomenon that he's talking about, that's pretty normal. Let's see if I got some info here. Okay, well, never mind. Nothing useful there. So I was getting texted some info from a little helper in the room. It's not useful, not germane. Anyway, that's enough for this podcast, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Okay, Hopkins, Thank you for being here.
No problem.
Kimmy, thank you double. I appreciate
Love you.
I love you too, man. You're the best. Well, top 10.